upon the education. So we ask God to give the officers wisdom as their record or lift up the team and cheerleaders along the way. Oh God, we ask that you give the members, Lord, concern to follow the leadership that has been placed over them. Oh God, we ask in the name of Jesus, let this occasion be a blessed occasion. Let the football team choose know that we appreciate them and that we love them. Oh God, in the name of Jesus, meet every need in their life. And God, we ask you, Lord, that you will bless our bodies, that we may be able to digest this food so we can have strength to face the challenges of tomorrow. Oh God, in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Appreciate it. Thank Reverend Coleman for the wonderful invitation and also prayer. Tonight is that night, as I know all of you have been looking forward to it down through the season and also down through the year. One of the things that if you have opportunity to pick up again, one of the forms here or the papers here, you'll find we have a letter on the back, and it kind of gives you an explanation as what the Pearl Touchdown Club is all about. And so you can be, if you're interested, and hopefully that you are, and that you will join in the next year and the years to come in the future. We definitely appreciate you much support as you possibly can. We appreciate everyone for coming out again. So we want to just go move right along. And first of all, I want to introduce our head table tonight. Seated up here at the head table here, we want to first of all recognize the coach and his staff, Coach Boyles and his staff. Please stand and wave your hand. And to my left is a group of people that they kind of like the little, the L's that work for the thing. You don't know what, you really don't know when it gets happen or when it takes place, because a lot of work takes place. And these people are the staff of the Touchdown Club. They stand for. And of course, certainly, last but certainly not least, we do want to recognize our guest speaker tonight, Mr. Samuel Wyman. And so we actually just for you to say, you'll see him later on. Down now almost to dinner time. And so I have a young man at my house that I feed him every day. So I know what to expect you tonight. I'm among some of these young men. And so what we're going to do tonight is stand together. Okay. Wow. We got a Ford Explorer in the back. And your purse is in it, and your door is open. So here is a black Ford Explorer XLT, a license plate PDTIEN, well, C2. That sounds like police. But anyway, if that's your car, please go up around back and close the lock and security. Okay, what I want to do tonight is that as we get ready to prepare to go and dine, I'm going to ask if you'll be so kind to let the head table go first, followed by the administrators, followed by the parents, then followed by cheerleaders, followed by football players. If you have a date, you with if you have to be a cheerleader and you're with a football player, well, just stay with the football player. So we're going to actually, this time, we're going to allow the head table to start first. So the head table goes to kind of qualify, as you mentioned, the administrators, parents, cheerleaders, and football. Okay? want to, before we bring on Nick Alexander to introduce our guest speaker tonight, I want to just make a special salute to a group of people that I know that really go through a lot. And actually, you all just give them a round of applause. That is the coaches' spouses. So give them a hand, please. They have got to be some patient ladies. Got to be very patient. But we appreciate everything they do, the hard work that the husbands do here at our school. At this time, I want to bring on Nick. So we can introduce our guest speaker. Continue to eat now. We don't have to worry about the plates rattling because they're powerful. We don't enjoy it.
I'd like to take a few minutes to, before I bring our guest speaker up, just kind of give you a brief history about him. He was born and raised in Pocahontas, Mississippi. He attended Madison Regional High. He led 4 years in track and field and 3 years in football. After his senior year in high school, he decided to become a walk-on football player at the University of Southern Mississippi. While he was there, he had the opportunity to play in two bowl games. In 1980, he led the nation in scoring in college football. His college senior year, he was voted in football All-State, All-Independent, and honorable mention All-American. In 1982, he was drafted in the 5th round of the NFL draft pick by the Denver Broncos. He was blessed to play 9 years with the Broncos. Within those 9 years, he had the chance to play in 2 Pro games, Pro Bowls, and 3 Super Bowl games. The last 3 seasons on the team, he was chosen co-captain among the team along with Tom Hill. Presently, he resides in Madison County, where he's the owner-operator of the Winder Construction Company, Incorporated. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Sammy White. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon. Before I get started along, I like to just, back up and say that, it's always a warm feeling to be a part of young athletes and some of the things that they do today. I remember back in those days when I was in high school and coming along and wanting to get into sports, but was afraid to, and just afraid to step out there because I didn't know. But once I got that taste of it, once it got in my blood, it was something that I truly enjoyed. I grew up in a small town of Oakland, Mississippi. I grew up in a family of 11, and I'm number 10 out of 11. And none of my older brothers and sisters were ever interested in sports. But when I came along, it was just something that just seemed like it was pretty interesting to do. And I went out there. And first, I got my first taste of sports was track. And I liked that well, and I decided to go on football and see what that was like. And I enjoyed that. While getting off into sports, I sort of got out of the classroom and I started directing my attention towards sports and not concentrating on classroom work. I was one of those type of people that one of those happy-go-lucky kind of students that always had a smile. I was always trying to pull a crank or a joke on some other student in the class, and disrupt the class. And I had seen my name in the sports section of the newspaper, and I thought I was probably larger than life at that time. It was really a tremendous high for me, but it was the wrong kind of high because my grades were reflecting that. And during that time, and I don't know if it's still this way today, you had to take your report card home and let your parents sign it and take it back to school. All my brothers and sisters that brought their report cards home, and I was coming up with every excuse known to man of why I didn't have my report card. The teacher had forgotten to give it to us. I had left it in my locker. I must have left it on the bus. I had just going out of line. And finally, my mom took it upon herself to go through my things. She found my report card, and what she saw wasn't very pretty, And true enough, she was excited about the fact that I was having success in football. She was very disappointed in the fact that my grades was far less than what they should have been. And, you know, she sat down and we had that talk. It's amazing. You never know. You never know. No one can sit down and plan and say, I'm going to talk to my child today. Today going to be the day that I reach my kids. Because there was something about that talk. She broke it down to me and told me that she had a 5th grade education and my dad only had a 3rd grade education. And the opportunity that I had education-wise to better myself and be further up the road than they were and go on and do achieve some great things in life. And the expression that she had on her face when she told me that was really hit home. And I went back and I applied myself and I became a different type of person. And I ended up graduating from high school. And, you know, I went to visit down at Southern Miss and I just liked the atmosphere down there, and I really wanted to go to school down there. But they didn't offer me a scholarship, and I was just determined that I wanted to go to college down in Hattiesburg. So I ended up walking on down in Hattiesburg. That first year I went to school on a grant, and I went out for the football team. And apparently I did something right because the next year the coach gave me a scholarship, and I was a member of the Golden Eagles, and I thought that was really great. And then within that year, I got a little playing time. The first game was against Ole Miss. I got a little playing time, and then the second game coming up was against Mississippi State. And the starting running back at that time got hurt, and I got an opportunity to go in the game. We was down 17-0 when I went in the game, and at the end of the game, we won it 21-17. And I ended up scoring 2 touchdowns, and that was just a tremendous high. I mean, there's no way I can sit here and put into words how I felt that particular night. Playing an in-state rival at home in front of our home crowd, and I got an opportunity to play at the university that I always wanted to go to school at. And that kind of jump-started my college career, and I was very fortunate. I played with a lot of good athletes while I was at the University of Southern Mississippi, but at no time or no year that I was there, I was the best athlete on the team, but I was one of the athletes that I was determined to go out and put forth the best effort that I possibly could. They were not going to beat me in effort. They may beat me in talent, but not in effort. Once again, I was hurled into an environment that was just totally different from high school, because Mom wasn't there to say, Sam, get up and it's time to get ready to go to school, or Sam, it's time for you to go do your homework. None of those things were said to me. You are independent in college. It's up to you to go out and do the things that you need to do. Nobody's just standing on your shoulder and telling you it's time to do this and do that. And once again, my grades reflect that. I was great about going to class. I would go to class every day. You know, I would hang out till 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, have an 8 o'clock class. I'd be in class, but I'd be in the back of the room asleep. The professor won't say anything to you to wake you up. I'm in the back of the room asleep. But, you know, once again, my head had swelled from the fact that I was on the highlight film of the sports section of the evening news, and it was Sammy Winder did. And I think our sportcaster announcer gave me the nickname of the Sidewinder. And that was a name that spread throughout the state, the Sidewinder. And it was really great. I pulled away from the classroom. I pulled away from attention in the classroom. I was never a student that didn't go. I just pulled away from attention in the classroom. And you know what? I got put on probation, and I got a letter to come visit the dean of students. And I went to visit the dean, and on my way there, I was thinking, I said, well, he's probably going to tell me no word about it. They're going to take care of it, you know, because I was doing so well in football. I could just walk on through it and just continue doing what I'm doing on the football field. They'll take care of things in the classroom. When I got in that office and that door closed, it was totally different what I had thought that he was going to say when I was walking over there. He told me that I had 1 semester to go, and if I didn't turn my grades around, I would head back to Pocahontas, Mississippi. And when I said that, you know, a light came on in my head because I did not want to go home, go back to Pocahontas, typically known as the one that got kicked out of college, couldn't make it in college. And, you know, from there I started applying myself, I started paying attention in class. You know, and the thing about it, class wasn't that bad. It's just the fact that I didn't try. And when I started applying myself, I saw things from a different perspective. Things seemed a little more interesting than they did, say, 6 months ago when I wasn't applying myself. And I ended up graduating from Southern Miss. And, you know, I played ball with some great athletes, and a lot of those guys didn't graduate. And one of the things that they say to me now, when they see me, they ask me did I graduate, they wish they had stayed in school, wish they had applied themselves and done the things they need to do in the classroom, like they were doing on the football field, get that diploma and get that degree from Southern. After Southern, I was drafted in the 5th round for the Denver Broncos and going out to the Mile High City, you know, and that's a even now at 15, 14, football players' dream. One day get the opportunity to go play professional football. And that opportunity came from me. I got the call from, at that time, it was Coach Dan Reed, who was the head coach of the Denver Broncos. He called me in my dorm room, and he talking about an exciting young man that had gotten a call from a professional football coach of the Denver Broncos, and I was selected in the 5th round to come out and play. And so about 2 or 3 weeks later, they sent me an airplane ticket, and I went out. And I didn't know anything about the Broncos. I was just happy to be there, happy to be selected by them. But that same year, they had selected 2 other running backs in the draft. They selected 1 running back in the 1st round. And then they had all 6 veterans coming back from the previous year. And I was wondering, how in the world am I going to make this ball player? You know, because it's pretty much a known fact that the 1st round draft choice makes the team every year. And then you got those other 6 guys that I had to compete against for a spot, and they only keep 6 guys. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to make the ball club. And then training camp rolled around, and I just said to myself that I was going to go out and just do the best job I possibly could. And that means if I had to bleed every day, I was going to bleed because I wanted to be a part of this ball club. I wanted to make the sacrifice and do things that it takes to be a Denver Bronco. And luckily for me, I must have shown the coach something, some determination, the will, the desire to play because he took a chance on me. And I played for the Broncos 9 years, and I ended up starting 5 of those 9 years while I was out there. It was really great. And you play against guys you've seen on TV, and one of my idols that I played against was Tony Dorsett. You know, when I was in college, I was watching him play, and I was like, man, that's a great football player. I wish one day I could be like Tony Dorsett. And I got drafted by the Broncos in 1984. I rushed for over 1,000 yards, and I made the Pro Bowl. And when the Pro Bowl was played in Hawaii, I got over to Hawaii, and I walked into the dressing room, and I mean, it just floored me because my number is number 23, and I locked it right beside number 33, Tony Dorsett. That was a tremendous feeling to get a chance to meet someone that you idolized for years and years and years. And also the locker right beside that. And it went one step further than that. In 1987, Tony Dorsett was acquired through a trade from Dallas, and he came to Denver and played. And he and I lined up in the same backfield together for a whole year, and that was just like a dream come true to be not only beat, but the opportunity to play with someone that you admired for years and years, and that was a tremendous feeling, you know. But when Dorsett was there, they did a study. And one of the studies was that only 27% of all the NFL players had a college degree. And you know, I was scrounging like a madman to look on that list. They had the list out. They had a list. It's only like 1,500 or 1,600 players in the league each year. And I was looking for my name in that list of guys that graduated, but there was a lot of big names on that other list that did not graduate from college. And you know, it is really great to know that I was on the list and I graduated and I stayed in school and did what it takes to get that degree. You know, I have this, my desk here at my house, and I have that, my high school diploma and then my college degree there. I have it framed. And every now and then, it gives me a warm feeling just to look up and take a look at it and see that I achieved those two things and graduated because, you know, I thought football was the key to my success in life, but it wasn't football, it was education because if I hadn't graduated from high school, I never got the opportunity to play college ball down in Harrisburg. And if I hadn't graduated and got flunked out of school while I was down in Harrisburg, there's no way I'd have gotten that phone call or got the opportunity to meet my idol, Tony Dorsett, in the pros. And it was education was the key to everything. And so many times we get blinded by things other than what's important, and that was what was really important. And it sort of took after I retired to see that, but it's so clear to me now. And I hope that you guys will take a look at that opportunity that you have before you. It's great to have the opportunity in athletics, but it's even greater to have the opportunity in education to go out and further yourself because there's so many great things out there that yet to be discovered. Why can't it be someone here in this room that can go out and do that? After playing 9 years for the Broncos, I decided it was time for me to give it up. I started a business back in Madison, construction business. We do bulldozers and dump truck work, and I just wanted to come home and get off into that. I had some opportunities as a coach when I first got out of the ball, and I got to thinking about it. I can recall really making Dan Reed really, really mad. I don't know if I want anybody to make me that mad. I decided that I was just going to stick with my business, and it's been really good. I've been in business for about 12 years now, and everything's been going pretty well with that. You know, I look back on probably all the things that I experienced while I was in football. Like in college, I played for two bowl games. I led the nation in scoring in 1980. While I was in the Denver Broncos, I led the AFC in touchdowns in '84 with 20 touchdowns. And I got a big award for that. They flew us to Chicago, a big trophy for that. And then I was played in 2 Pro Bowls, played in 3 Super Bowls. And I have one of the rings on now. You know, I look back at all those things, and I think about out of all the accomplishments that I have that's going to destroy the moment, I don't think any is more greater than the fact that when my high school principal extended his right hand to congratulate me and extended his left hand with that diploma and say that congratulate me on graduating from high school. And then above and beyond that, I said that out of all the trophies and all the awards, I did it all 100% drip-free. So I'm a living witness that it can be done. You know, there, like I said, so many opportunities out there for you. And no one makes the right decision every day. We all face with decisions every day. If it's nothing more than what color pants you're going to put on today, what color shirt you're going to wear. But, you know, you try to make the best rational decision that you possibly can. And I think that you get the Lord in your life and let Him guide you. There's no way you can go wrong. Thank you for having me here tonight. Thank you.
That's what we need. Most young people will take
They are Ms. Matthews and Ms. Hayes. And I'm going to defer to Ms. Matthews, our public speaker at this time, to present our award.
For those of you who don't know me, I have been in cheerleading a long time, but this is my first year back at varsity after a long time. I've been in junior varsity for 3 years, and then I'm back in varsity this year. And I'm really pleased to be here, and they made me stop. I don't know why. But anyway, maybe that's because I talk all the time. But anyway, the cheerleaders would like to, first, before we recognize our cheerleaders, we would like to thank the Touchdown Club for so much support this year. They have been so good to us. For those of you who don't know, and if you don't have a program, they are the ones that bought for us the speaker that we use on the sidelines, so hopefully you can hear us a little better, and also the big P flag that we've now got that we run up and down sidelines with. We're so pleased about that. They've always been there. Everything that we've ever asked, they have been there and done for us, and we do so appreciate that and all their support. We're used to being the ones that try to support, but it's nice to be on the receiving end too. Thanks so much. Cheerleaders will come forward, please. All of them. We have 18 cheerleaders. Okay. They're all going to receive medals that says thanks from the Pearl Pirates 1999. So all of the girls will receive a medal. Down here on this end, Ms. Hill says I didn't say their names. Dana Drew, Ashley Sutton, Leah Foster, Ashley Gillette, Izzy Palmer, Jamie Chaney, Tracy Smith, Ashley Warren, Michelle Williams. There's two Michelle. Ashley Downs. Emily Ard, Jennifer Duke, Michelle Murray. Jessica Scott, Layla Martin, Layla's been sick, and Roxanne Morris, Nene Foster, and Corinne Burks. These are our girls for this year. We would like the seniors to please speak. These 8 senior girls have been cheerleaders a long time.
Ms. Matthews is kind of choked up now and that's unusual for Ms. Matthews to be speechless, please believe me. But these girls were her first girls as JV cheerleaders coming back. So she's been with them for 4 complete years, and Ms. Hayes and I've had them for 3 years. And they have been a real joy to work with, always giving everything that they have for the Pearl Pirates and for the community. These girls work so hard in everything that they do. And the seniors are Emily Yard, Ashley Gillette, Leah Foster, Karita Burke. Karita stayed out for a few years and came back for this year. We're glad she did. Dana Drew, Lindsay Palmer, Ashley Sutton, and Jennifer Duke. We will miss them greatly.
I have 2 plaques that they ran off. Our head cheerleaders this year, Ashley Gillette and Ashley Sutton. They would come.
We also want to say thank you to the administration, the school board, and all of you parents who have done so much for us this year. It has been a real joy to work with all of you, and you've made our job so much easier. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
do that, but Mr. Allen, you can call in there. Smart from the chain. But also Dr. Johnson's not here and he's retiring. I tell you what, he's my fourth school district work in. Dr. Johnson's one of the best superintendents. We work hard as an athletic coach. He supports us completely. And the school board, Mr. Smith is here and I recognize him and I appreciate their support they give us. Also my assistant coaches, I can stand, please. These are the guys that make everything happen. They come up with a game plan on Sunday. They put in the long hours. They are a great group. I was at the state championship games this weekend. Most of these guys were also. And I tell you what, as far as the class act and the great group of coaches, I put our bunch any of theirs. They did a great job all year for us. We didn't make the state championship game, but it wasn't because of these guys, I promise you. They did their part. We did win a couple games and should have won. See, well, we had a state championship coaching staff, that's for sure. And I thank y'all. Also, the touchdown club. Great group to work hard. Thank you. I tell you what, they supported us. I should have wrote down how much money they spent the last year just on the football program, what all they did for us. Did not do that. $10,000 that they spent for us this year. And they support us. They came to me a couple weeks ago and said, Coach, what do you need? And whatever you need, we need to get. And that's the kind of people we like having work for our units. It's just a few people that does it. That's unfortunate. And we'd love for all the parents to get involved. You know, a few that are up here, and there may be a couple sitting out here. I don't want to leave anybody out. But, you know, Steve's the main ones right here. Those three at the front table that do all the work. And, you know, it's open to everybody. You don't have to be a parent. In fact, we have a couple of students come that don't have anybody involved in the athletic program. You know, that's the best kind. But then they don't come to me and tell me I need to play. So, but no, it's different. It's a great group. You know, we've raised a lot of money this year. They have. They've raised a lot of money this year, and they continue to do that. And you know, we get everybody else involved. We really have a lot of money. A lot more, and it all goes back to the kids. They don't keep it in the bank. They spend it back on the kids. These leather jackets see some of these guys walking around in are about $80. Okay, and they buy that. The kids are gonna have to buy that, as you know, and they buy that. And they buy a lot of other things. So I'm not getting into all that, but they spend a lot of money. You need to get involved. It's a great program that meets after football. It's one time a month, every month on Monday. You need to get involved. Meetings do not last long. Mr. Morris gets in and gets out. He doesn't stay very long. And the last group before I get to football players and cheerleaders. Appreciate their support. They constantly doing things for us this year, and they were always there. And you know, had great pep rallies. They did their part. At the end, as typical, some of the pep rallies weren't quite as good, but when we call it cheerleaders, you know, it's because some of the kids in the stands didn't want to do it right. They'd rather get back in the comments and they're about time to talk. Cheer. So, but we do appreciate the three ladies and the cheerleaders for the great job they did for us this year. I think we need to recognize them and give them applause. The other coaches didn't want to give anybody any awards. They just wanted me to do that. So, yeah, I don't know. They didn't want to talk. They wanted to go and talk. So, Coach President, Coach Kennedy is going to give out a award. He didn't want to give out one. He said he's done it every year, so they didn't give out one in just a few minutes. The first award goes to the most valuable offensive lineman, a great player, a guy that we needed. I'll tell you what, it was 4th and 1 against Greenwood. Last play of the game, if we score, we win. We don't go on. And we ran behind Drew Wilson. So Drew Wilson is our most valuable offensive lineman. Next will be the most valuable defensive lineman. We had two guys that went both ways. And one of these guys is very deserving of this award. He did a great job for us all year. He's a fun guy to coach. He came to practice and worked hard. And he's even more fun than that. You can get on him and chew him out. He'll sit there and take it. say yes and still keep on smiling and may keep on doing what he's going to do anyway, but he was a great kind of coach anyway. That's shame to rest. Most valuable defensive back goes to another guy who had with both ways, and that's Alfred Jenkins. Alfred, hopefully get a scholarship somewhere. He has the grades, and I tell you what, in the last year, he made up his mind he wanted to get a scholarship. He worked extremely hard in the weight room, flung out of coach. We're going to miss Alfred. Next is a award that our team has kind of overlooked, and it's most valuable special teams award, and this goes to a guy that we never had to worry about. He was going to be steady. When we sent him on the field, we could expect big things to happen. He was going to always make something good happen for us. He was really steady, and I'm afraid, we'll find out next year just how steady he is. We've got to have somebody step up and fill his shoes, and that's Aaron Casimir. Next is the academic award. And this goes, kind of what Mr. Wanda would say, this goes to a kid that has really put the effort throughout his high school career to have good grades, maintain those grades while at the same time participating in football. And as you parents know, we get home late a lot of nights. But this guy has maintained a great GPA. I do not have that in front of me. I'm sorry for that. I should. But I bet he knows what it is. And he also part of one of those guys when we was at Greenwood, or playing Greenwood at home, and we needed that 1 yard. We ran behind him also. He was a great offensive lineman, and he was one of the smartest guys I've been around. Like Coach Perry said, sometimes he was too smart. He tried to think too much, and that's Chris Rhodes. Or is 3.7. Maybe he won't quit in seconds much. Next is the valuable defensive player. Goes to a young man that led the team in tackles last year, and he led the team in tackles this year. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I don't need them in front of me because I know when the ball snapped, he was going to be around the ball. He was going to make every tackle and be right there at it. And I've coached a lot of great players on defense, and I think Coach Uzell would agree. He's one of the best I've ever been around as far as on Friday nights. He's one of the best defensive players. He just has a knack to find the football. And sometimes me and him don't see eye to eye on a lot of other things, but on Friday nights we see eye to eye on a lot. And that's John Nico Alexander. He won this award last year as a sophomore, so expect a big thing out of him next year. Give him a weight room. Next two awards, the most valuable offensive player and the most valuable player. And Stephen Alexander, come on, we make his way up this way. This is a special young man to me. He played the last 4 or 5 games with torn ACL, torn meniscus on both sides of the knee. Finished with 1,500 yards this year, right at 1,500 last year. 3,300 yards, I think, for his career. Trying to think, 40-something touchdowns. Also, he does not know it yet, but he's, I'm telling you now, he made first team All-State, selected by the coaches in 4A as a running back. Doctor
playing the game. We go on Saturday, I take him on Saturday to the clinic, and they said, Coach, he's finished. He can't play. He's on ACL. He won't play. We got to do surgery. Well, by Monday, Steve was ready to practice. And in fact, he's going to have surgery Wednesday. He's going in to have surgery, and it's a 5 or 6 month recovery time in that. And so, but Steve has not played his last football. He'll be back. He's going to work hard at it. And that's just kind of, they told me that nobody plays with one ACL, multiple meniscus. That just does not happen. They could not believe it. They had to see the tapes. They sent trainers. And one doctor, kind of ugly to him, said, no, you can't do it. And Steve, when I said just running exercise and that kind of stuff, the guy said, you still can't do it. And Steve said, well, I'm doing it. And so, I think after he hurt his knee, he still had about 600 or 700 yards rushing after he hurt his knee. And I would love to have him healthy for Greenwood and Louisville, and just to see, what might have happened, because he was our man on offense. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to hide that fact. And I tell you what, we know how the country will miss him. I promise. We got some good running backs, some great running backs. Got his brother, one of them. But Steven is special. He is always be special. I coached some guys that played Mississippi State, played Ole Miss and places like that. And Steve's the best one I've ever coached. He is a great young man. I will miss him highly. I'll get back up here and let Coach Kenny give that out.
We were all supposed to give some awards, but the other guys chickened out, I guess. And I'm kind of shy, so I'll go ahead and do mine. But Heart of the Champion Award is one of my favorite awards. It's one that we've given for several years now. It's open to any player on the team. 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. It covers a lot of things. Game performance, practice performance, weight room, attitude. It's open to anybody on the team, from the best player to the worst player. And there were really about, when we talked about it as a staff, there were about 4 people that we kept coming up to, and it was really a tough decision, but we finally narrowed it down to one. And 1999 Heart of the Champion Award goes to Josh Perry. You can see from the size that he used his quickness to his advantage. Josh, congratulations.
One thing I hate about awards is you always leave someone out. I'm going to just take a minute. If you started on defense this year, bro, just stand up. You started on defense. Great group of guys. I don't know if they're all standing. Maybe they are. But I tell you what, unfortunately, they all cannot get an award. They only have just a limited these guys, though, played hard for us on defense, and they all deserve an award, but they can't all get one. But I appreciate the effort they gave us every year. We came a long ways from last year on defense. Tell you what, we were pretty bad last year on defense, and we were mighty good this year on defense. So it's a tribute to these guys right here, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Do the same thing with offensive players. Started on offense at any time this year, just stand up. Started on offense at any time. Same thing, you can see, we've only got about 13 guys standing up, and there's some others that played a whole lot. And, we only get just a few awards, and here these guys are. And it's hard to choose sometimes between, this one or that, and why this one needs it, and why this one doesn't. This is a great group of guys to coach on offense, scored a lot of points, and, when we got in the playoffs, we struggled a little bit, but there were some reasons because of that. But I think what these guys came to practice and they came to play hard, and it was a great offense we had this year. Thank you. I want seniors to come up here. Just a minute, Mr. Rogers will present something to each one. After I get finished with what I'm going to say, I'm not going to say a whole lot. People say a little bit about it. Other than 2 years that I coached here, we won 20 ball games with these two guys. We won 2 district championships. We made the South State. We made the second round with this group of men. And I always believe how your team goes, how your seniors go. And I think this is a great group. We will highly miss this group. They provided the leadership that we needed, and they came to practice. And I tell them all the time, it's important how these guys practice, how we will practice. We had our good practices because of these guys, and we had our good games because of these guys. Each one of these will get an award here to Smith, Mr. Rogers, and tell you what, they're very deserving of that award because it's a great group. This time I'm going to present the 4 captains, and we go give this to guys. We just felt like that we're good football players, no doubt, but also they came to practice every day and worked hard for us, and they had a good attitude. They had a good time out there, and they were very coachable, and they did what we asked them to do, and all 4 of these guys are starters for us, and in fact, all 4 of them started last year for us, so they're 2-year starters. They just did a great job. And this time our 4 captains, I'm going to call them all out, then you give your applause. Percy Holmes, Chris Rowe, Justin Stokely, and Michael Laird. Thank you. They don't laugh, y'all guys. There's Mike, I didn't see him, he was a little short. This time, Mr. Rogers has a few words he'd like to say.
Thank you, Coach. I tried to get the coach to present these awards, but he said no. He said, I know that you're not shy about getting up in front of the microphone. It's always a pleasure, has always been a pleasure for me to present these senior awards. It's been done traditionally for the last 25 years, and it's just a small memento to give to you seniors to remind you of your contribution to the Pearl Fire football program, and to let all of you know how much we appreciate you and the contribution that you've not only made to the Fire football program, but to the school system here at Pearl, and also to our community. I was just talking to some of the coaches prior to the banquet tonight. We were going over some of the records for the last 3 years since you fellas have been in the high school program. And I think we came up with something like 29 victories, 3 state playoffs, 1 in 5A and 2 in 4A. And that is something that you can be very, very proud of. I know that we are here in Pearl, and we're going to miss you very, very much. And we just want to let you know that we're going to wish you all the luck in your future, and just say Godspeed to each and every one of you. So if you would, at this time, I think Coach Boyles is going to give them to you. And also, Coach, you're going to have some for the senior cheerleaders too. I'd like for them to come up because they're a part of this program, a very important part. Has been said here tonight. I want to let them know how much we appreciate them also. I think at this time that all of these seniors and this fine coaching staff that we've got here in Pearl deserves a standing ovation.
I appreciate it. Inspired Fan Award that goes to the guy that was on the very first football team here at Pearl. He's done a lot of work. I think he has not missed a game in 36 years. He does the announcing, but I did understand that after the Canton game, they said they could announce if Canton was to move to Pearl, they might have to replace him. I don't know when they're going to do that. This award, Inspired Fan, 1999, was Mr. Ray Rogers. Does a lot for our weight program for our kids. There were T-shirts and awards, flags and awards that we had tonight to give out. You can read this now.
I'm going to have to tell us on Woody Barnett. About a year and a half ago, I talked to him at the Kiwanis Club about setting up a mentor program for the football team. And he said, we'll get something together. Well, I got all the artwork together and showed it to Woody, and Woody said, well, that looks good. I'm going to get back with you. Well, that went on about 3 times. He said, I'm going to get back with you. Well, the 4th time he said, I'm going to get back with you, I said, well, Woody, don't worry about it. I'm sure Brandon would love to do this. So the next morning, I met Coach Perry. Amazing how you can motivate even some of the smaller people. I saw something this year in these young people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and that was dedication. They came into the weight room, they worked hard, and they're definitely overachievers. And what I saw in the weight room and what I saw on the football field this year, these young kids played more with heart than they did with ability, because I never thought that they would have had the accomplishments that they've had this year. Another thing, the coaches, I learned something about the coaches this year, that to be a coach, you have to be able to be a disciplinarian, a role model, and a psychologist. Not necessarily for the students, but for themselves, what they have to go through. And I think the one thing that they're underpaid for the number of hours that they put in. These young people that are here tonight work for pure acceptance. And I think you parents should not let the night end without telling your children how proud you are of them. Because they do a lot of this for you, not only the athletes, the cheerleaders, and along with the band this year. I really do appreciate the opportunity to work with these kids. I appreciate the staff here, football staff, as well as the administration. And tonight I'd like to give out a few awards to a few of the people. When this started out, I came out with a plan. This plan was when the young people do a weight, they get a shirt, 200, 250, 300. What was not brought out was the fact that originally they were supposed to get a 4th shirt, but the coaches wouldn't let me do it. They said we cannot have all the kids wearing wimp shirts until they do 200 pounds. We've got a few weak ones and we don't want them to run them off. So tonight I'd like a few of the people to come forward that accomplished something that none of the others did, and that would be Drew Wilson. I'd like him to come forward, Shane Burrell, and Coach Perry, and Coach Knight. That's special awards for these people. These people were the people who were, along with Torrey Knight, which is, he's not here tonight, they were able to do bench press over 300 pounds. One short, because I'm one short tonight, because I didn't know that Shane had done the 300. He did one day I wasn't there, but I'm going to have